Hey YouTube, Kevin Cleary with a knife video. I have a knife today that I love and many other people love as well. This is the Rat Model 1. Now the Rat 1 is a great knife, 8 5 inches overall, 3 5/8 inch blade, 5-inch handle, about ½ an inch thick, 5 ounces, 5.2 ounces actually. Great knife. I have carried this a ton. In fact, I've carried it so much that I have jeans that have not worn out at the pocket where the pocket clip goes, but they've actually worn in the exact shape of the top of this knife from it being in my pocket that much, okay? So great, great knife. Why is it so great? Well, the design is just a simple, versatile, highly functional design. Full flat ground blade, comfortable handle, big enough to do pretty well any cutting task you could think of, comfortable as it can be in hand. Now I know these kind of look a little maybe ugly, but let me tell you, if you can't get over the look, get one in hand. And as soon as you put it in your hand, you go, yeah, it's cool. It's great. You know, you'll completely get over the look of it as soon as you feel it in hand. Sort of like a Spyderco Stretch. If you've ever seen a Spyderco Stretch, you're like, I don't know about that. Then you get it in hand and you're like, wow, awesome knife. Anyway, definitely that applies to the Rat 1. These are extremely budget friendly. I think they go for about 35 bucks. Okay, between 30 and 35 anyway if you shop around. The last thing about these that people love is they're just tough as nails. There's all kinds of stories out there of people who have just beat on their Rat Model 1 and it's still fine, totally usable, and totally functional. And that's been my experience as well. I have done so much with this knife that it's ridiculous. All right, everything from cutting up potatoes for supper to skinning an animal to doing, wood processing out in the bush. This knife has done it and done it well. So after all of that, you go, Kevin, you've already reviewed the Rat 1. What's the deal? Well, a classic knife like this could be even better. And in fact, Ontario has made it even better. These limited edition Rat 1s in D2 are on KnifeWorks. Now, they are all limited edition. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can check this out. But let me say while I'm doing that, I have looked through everything that I could find. There's quite a long discussion about this on Blade forums, and the people from Ontario Knives did not indicate in there in any way that this would be an ongoing thing. So the reason I'm saying that is I don't know that this may be a one-time deal where they do the limited edition. They've got lots of them, by the way. They did 800 of each sort of variation. So I don't know what they've got. Let's say 7 or 10 variations, and 800 of each. Okay, so there's thousands out there, but they've already some of them sold out. This one, the carbon fiber one, which was a little bit more expensive, they're not listed as available on KnifeWorks anymore. Anyway, my point is that the D2 steel is a huge upgrade. Now the other ones, the non-carbon fiber, this one is carbon fiber G10 laminate, which is fine. The other ones that are still the nylon in a bunch of different colors, they're selling for less than you can buy the AUS 8 version, which is wild, right? So let me, now you should be able to get a good look at the carbon fiber on this. You can see the redesigned logo here and the limited edition 485 of 800 here. Here you see Model 1 in D2 steel. Let's take a second and just talk about D2 steel. Probably one of my favorite steels. Not probably, absolutely one of my favorite steels. Now some of you are going, but Kevin, it's not stainless. Well, let me say this. It is not stainless, that is correct. And it will rust if you're not a little bit careful with it, but literally it just needs a little bit of care. Probably once every 6 to 8 months, even a year, my D2 blades, I'll put a drop of oil in the pivot, a drop on the blade and rub it in, and that's all I do. Okay, so, my other knives, I put a drop of oil in the pivot anyway, so really I'm not doing anything much more with my D2 blades than I am with my other blades, and I have no rust on any D2 blade that I own. Now you may live in a higher humidity environment than I do. Maybe you live by the ocean or, in Florida or something like that. even in those cases, again, just a little bit of care and D2 is going to be fine. Now what it's also going to do is hold an edge like crazy. D2, the reason I like D2 so much is because it's one of those rare steels that seems to sharpen up pretty easily, but then hold that edge. Generally, okay, the way it works is a knife that holds an edge really well is going to be that much harder to sharpen because it's hard steel and it doesn't wear easily. But D2, I don't know, it's almost like it takes an edge way easier than it should based on how long it holds that edge. So great, great steel. And if you don't have a Rat Model 1 and you're at all interested in knives, you know, this is a really, really good deal. 31 bucks or $31.95 for these plus $15 shipping if it's coming to Canada. Obviously, if you're watching this in the US, it's going to be a lot less. As far as I'm concerned, that is well worth every penny. You know, consider the amount of use I've gotten out of this AUS 8 version, and you know, that money is money extremely well spent. Now, yeah, I did go with the laminate carbon fiber over G10 version, and that's because I've already got another Rat 1. If I didn't have this, I may have just bought two so that I could make one sort of a collector and one a user. But as it stands, this is just fine. So here's what I want to ask you before we close out the video. Now that you've had a chance to get a good look at the knife and you know how much I'm excited about it, I love D2 steel. I love the Rat Model 1. So you put the two of them together and it's like jackpot for me. Now, what about you? What I'd love to hear in the comments below are some knives that you really like, but you'd love to see the company that makes them put them out in some kind of higher end materials. Maybe it's a carbon fiber, you know, maybe it's like this, the carbon fiber scales, or maybe it's an upgraded steel, or, you know, maybe you'd like to see your favorite stainless steel knife created in all titanium. Whatever the case may be, let's hear it below. Now, there are a lot of knives like this already out there, okay? Spyderco has done like who knows how many different paramilitary 2 options, as well as militaries and Manixes and all kinds of other sprint runs. But, and by the way, so have others. I mean, Kershaw has like how many different skylines, how many different blurs are out there. So especially, the reason I think this stands out is because there aren't a bunch of different Rat Model 1s out there. So far, it's just been this. And so what I'd really like to hear from you guys are knives like that, where, you know, it's a great knife, it's just a classic, people love it. And if they were produced with a higher end steel or better materials, whether it be, you know, go from FRN up to G10, or whether it be from, you know, stainless steel to titanium, whatever, just tell me what you love to see in a knife that you really, really like and really enjoy. And you could say, hey, if this company made this knife in whatever, they made these changes, I would buy 10 of them. All right. That's what I'd love to hear in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. By the way, they did still have a few, not of the carbon fiber, but of the other variations in stock at KnifeWorks. So good luck if you're trying to get one. I hope wish you all the best. Talk to you later.